welcome to episode 129 of the SoFLo Sports Show. It's your host, 305 Sports Babe, co-host Lou from Dave. And tonight we have a jam-packed episode. We're talking about the highs, we're talking about the lows, we're talking about the colds, we're talking about the outs, the ins. We got a lot to cover tonight.
A lot of lows, unfortunately, because the Dolphins are officially done. There's 3 games left to play, but they don't mean anything. However, there is something to look forward to. And the big news, despite the loss, despite the fact that they're eliminated, is the monster news is that Tua has been benched.
Yes.
That news broke yesterday. Could not believe it. And then now Quinn Ewers is the starter. He will, nothing guaranteed past this game. At least I haven't heard. But he is going to be your Week 16 starter against Cincinnati Bengals.
Definitely. So real quick check in the room. Mike from the West Coast. Hey, guys. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah to all those who celebrate everything. Russ, look, Lou, defrosted. Yes, we are still defrosting.
I'm wearing my heat cap so I can, further. I'm still got my sweater on. I'm cold, man. It was bone-chilling weather out there.
We're going to talk all about it. Jeremy, what is up? Smash that like button. Oh, the 706 Phins fan. Hello. Hey, guys. Glad you're back, and happy holidays. Happy holidays to you. Okay, guys. So tonight we have 2 special guests on. We have one that we're going to bring on right now who came to Pittsburgh with us. She started doing some away games. She was in New York the week before, so she's getting to be a road warrior. And so we're excited to bring her on to talk about her experience in Pittsburgh. And then at 8:30, stay tuned for that because we have our buddy Will Padron with 305 Sports Now, who is a Canes expert, and we're talking everything Canes versus Aggies in this week's Saturday matchup for the college football playoffs. So without further ado, you guys know her. Her intro doesn't need to be anything because you know who she is. She is a rock star. She is the host of the Miss Phins show. Miss Phins, da 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 da.
What's up?
So, I told you at the game Monday after when going into the third, I was like, listen, you got to be on the show because I can't talk about this by myself because I want you to also share experience. So you were with us in Pittsburgh. You brought your brother, who was a Steelers fan.
Full disclosure, I was a Steelers fan.
I know. I wanted to add that. So when I bring up some pictures, you're going to see like this random guy in Steelers stuff. Miss Phins claims him. That is her kin. It's part of her. Yeah. So he is cool. He was with us. We did not just steal a Steelers fan.
That's right.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the game. I wrote down some facts that I want to share with the audience of kind of what we went through. So it was the 6th coldest game in Steelers history. It was 17 degrees at the 8:15 kickoff, but the wind chill made it feel like 11. When the game ended, it was about 11:15 or so. The wind chill dropped to 10. So it dropped just 1 degree, but it felt like a lot more. It wasn't the coldest game in Steelers history, like I mentioned. That actually happened in 1989. The Steelers were playing the Patriots when it was 5 degrees. And then another cold game was in 2022 when it was 8 degrees against the Raiders. Saturday night, the Dolphins did want to acclimate to the cold, so they did practice in the snow at Robert Morris University, RMU, which is right outside of Pittsburgh. So there were rumors that they did practice in the stadium, not in the actual game stadium. We heard that. It was not.
Yeah, because the seats weren't yellow, so right away you saw
it was Robert Morris.
But I thought that was great, the fact that they came up a day earlier, which is not customary, especially for a Monday night game. You would come in on a Sunday. They came in on Saturday. They got out there right when that snowstorm came. Yeah. And they were out there early, and so that was cool to see. But, yeah, they definitely got to practice in, and unfortunately it did not work.
And so did we because we dealt with that snow. So just as much as they got the practice playing in the snow, we, obviously we all got there a few days earlier, so we started accustoming our body to the cold.
Yeah, you got there on Friday as well.
No, she got there Wednesday, right?
Oh, no, you were there before.
We can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I muted myself. So actually, to your point, we did a 2-week trip, my brother and I. We spent a week in New Jersey and New York and then a week in Pittsburgh. We got there Wednesday at midnight. So it was like Wednesday night, Thursday morning, or like midnight, 1:00 a.m. And yeah, it was cold. That same Saturday night, he walked around. My brother walked around the stadium and all that. I drove because I'm like, I can't deal with the snow. But yeah, we saw the entire thing and it was pretty. Nobody was there at 1:00 in the morning on Saturday. We were nuts. I know.
Yeah. And no, the snow started to come on Saturday, as we mentioned. Some snow showers came in, and that's when it really started to feel a little colder, and it was a different experience. You were in New York. You saw a big victory in the MetLife Takeover What was the difference weather-wise? Big difference, right, between what it was in New York and Pittsburgh on Monday night.
Actually, you know what? I have to shout out New Jersey, New York, because if it wasn't for that experience, it was very cold. It was the lowest it got in New York was 18 degrees. I'd never been in that low of a weather, but it was very windy. It was very windy. But it got man, we were cold. But it got us prepared for Pittsburgh. So the weather-wise, definitely Pittsburgh ended up being more colder. I mean, it got down to 6 degrees, but the fact that New York ended up being so cold, it wasn't snowy, but it was cold. It really helped. We were cold regardless. This whole trip was super cold. So
here's our Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas picture, our little family portrait of all of us. This was after half. I remember taking it like right after half. And I'm like, we might as well do it just in case some people start flaking out, which none of us did. We all stayed to the end. I must tell everybody that we all stayed to the end. We are those fans. In the picture, you have you in the top left, your brother. Then we have Pat next to your brother. We have Alejandro, Asher. Then we have Lou next to Lou. There's also Dennis to his left. Then you have me, and then you have Lucas. So this was our group up there. This was part of our group. But
a couple more people that didn't make this cut. There's 3 or 4 other people that didn't come out in this picture. But yes, and it was tough because every time you wanted to take your phone out for a picture or anything, you got to take your gloves off, and you might miss the moment if you didn't do it right away. So definitely a unique experience. Now let's get to the game.
So Tua is 0-6 in his career in games when it is 40 degrees or below at kickoff. So we knew going into this, right? Stats don't lie. We knew that Tua just does not play well in the cold. However, I was hoping that he was going to break that stigma. Unfortunately, the same old Tua. So you're saying let's get back into the game.
Yeah. So what was your take, Ms. Phins? Because obviously, we needed we've been coming off this high of running the ball consistently game after game for about 4 weeks in a row during this win streak. And then we knew that the Steelers were going to come with it, even though we got breaking news over the weekend that T.J. Watt was not going to be playing. So that was something that we was going to be in our favor, and yet we couldn't do anything with it. Just an unbalanced attack. Tua was horrible in the first half. And what was your take on that the game in the first half in particular?
Well, in the first half, I mean, there were several spots where I was so frustrated because I'm like, oh my gosh, I know that the Steelers, they're able to drive the ball and their defense wasn't like 100%, but man, we had opportunities there for us to be able to actually make some decent plays. And it's like, when I looked up at one point, I think it was like in the mid-second quarter, and I saw they put up the stat. They had like 127 yards. We have 45 passing yards. I was like, what the? I was like 45 passing yards up to that point. I mean, instantly I was, prior to the game, hearing TJ Watt that wasn't going to be there. I'm like, oh, we got a shot. Okay, cool. Awesome. We got a shot. I mean, I'm not telling my brother, you know what I'm saying? For me, the whole time, I'm like, Dolphins by 30. Okay.
Of course.
But I thought, okay, we actually have a shot. I know it gets cold, whatever. Tua's not good in the cold weather, but seeing how the run game was going on in the last few weeks, and I'm thinking, okay, we have a good O-line play. We got a decent defense. We should be able to at least make it a game. Make it blow for blow. That's what I was thinking.
Competitive. Make it a game. Yeah.
Exactly, competitive. But it was just so bad. I mean, starting off with 2 straight, pretty much 3 and outs, drive. Like, first you got our first drive ended up in a 3 and out. Then our defense stopped them. They get the 3 and out. Okay, cool. Let's reward our defense by at least getting a field goal. Give me at least some points. No, what do we do? 4 plays into it, interception. And you're almost like, what? Like, and you look at that ball, how it got intercepted. You're like, but that ball had it just looked like
no chance.
and it just died in the air.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I'm just like, someone sucked out all the energy from that arm because it just died in midair. It was, oh God.
It was a duck. It was a duck. And Brent mentions in the room, he mentions that our defense has stepped up. The defense gave us a chance. You know, it was a nothing game
Yeah.
at the end of the first quarter. And right there, I thought that boded well for us. The fact that we were going to, hang in there and make it a low scoring game. We actually scored first, took the lead of the game 3-0, but they scored right before the end of the half. And of course, they were going to get the ball in the second half. And we never had a chance after they came out in that second half and scored that first touchdown. Ended up going up 14-3, then 21-3. And then next thing you know, you're in the fourth quarter and it's a 28-3 game. And at that point, it's done.
I mean, then you had Waller with 2 touchdowns, right? That was great to see. Waller.
But all that was in garbage time.
No, that is the epic, and I say this on purpose. That is the most Dak Prescott crap I see all the time, and it pisses me off. Don't give me this BS stats. They're playing prevent defense. They literally are like, well, we won this game, so I'm not about to risk an injury before the playoffs. We're going to play soft or prevent. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to get points now, but we're not competing. It's the same thing that person. They're losing by 45 points. He comes back, makes it 41-45. I did my job, 4 touchdowns. Blah, blah, blah. No, you didn't, because when the game mattered, you did nothing to impact it. You actually impacted in a bad way. You're one of the main reasons why we lost this game.
Dennis is in the chat. Dennis says it was a tale of 2 halves.
Yes, there you go, Dennis, who we talked about earlier. He joined us at the Phins game. We'll mention that down the road here in the show. But thanks for joining in, Dennis. And guys, if you're watching over on X, come on over to YouTube. Make sure you like tonight's episode and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already.
So the story ended that we lost 15-28. Steelers ended up beating us. It was a beatdown, right? And the Steelers fans let us have it. It sucked. They let us know we were eliminated. We knew that. We got out of there. And then next day happens.
Well, just stick with the game here for a second.
Okay.
I do want to add that the Steelers fans, for the most part, were great. There's a couple of knuckleheads, just like there is in every stadium or fan base. But for the most part, we had a good experience with Steelers fans. They were really great. They're knowledgeable. They're very proud of their team. A storied tradition with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I thought they were awesome. So. Maybe not so much your brother, Spence. Your brother wasn't too good, but no, I'm kidding. No, but
hey, I said the same thing to him. He was giving it to me the whole time, but he's my brother, so I'm like, I can't really say much.
No,
I was trolling him too, but oh God, just hear him. I'm like, we're in his stadium. Let him live his dream. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm gonna be a good sister and just eat it tonight. But the whole time I'm like, oh,
guy. He's a nice kid. We had a good time with him.
He's awesome, but gosh. So frustrating.
Yeah, and I do want to also mention, again, great in-game experience by the Steelers. They shot off fireworks 100 times during the game. That was awesome. And our view,
did you see that?
Yes, beautiful.
Dennis sent me some pictures as well, and we had a great view of the mountains of Mount Washington with the incline, and it was all lit up. So we got to see those fireworks, at a great angle.
We did.
Also, they play Renegade is their big thing. They play Renegade by Sticks. After the third quarter, the first defensive possession, when the team's on defense, they play Renegade, and the crowd goes nuts.
I know,
they start
my
waving
brother.
those terrible towels. It is a surreal scene, and we couldn't really experience it top notch because it was so cold and we're all bundled up. But on a 1 o'clock game on a Sunday afternoon, that's got to be electric to hear that song play and the crowd get into it the way they did.
100%. I mean, it was funny because my brother he's like, "You're gonna hear it right now." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then the song comes on. I see him first stand up, shoot out of nowhere. I'm like, he just was like the coin, and boom, he was up, and then and I'm like, "Where's my towel?" And I'm like, "I don't know, it's in the back." And then he's like getting ready and recording whatever. What are you recording? He's like, "This is it. This is Renegade." And then I see him having so much fun. I'm like, let me record him recording all this. And it was so cute. Just see him the sheer excitement. That to me was my favorite part. Just seeing him really love the experience. Because you can tell he was being patchy. He's like, finally, I'm amongst my people. It's my city. Steeler Nation.
He put some stuff on for you, he helps, you know.
He's a Dolphin fan too.
He is.
Yes, he does do that part.
Yeah,
I want to thank Cody.
was funny though. That was intense, but funny.
I want to thank Cody, who's just subscribed and liked to the channel. So I appreciate you, Cody. Welcome on in. Make sure you post commentary and give us your takes and your opinions. And so, yeah, look, going back to the game before we wrap it up here, the fact that, you know, down 28-3, and this is obviously why we're going to talk about what happened next, that McDaniel, with 9 minutes to go, down multiple scores, is taking that play clock down to 5, 4, 3 seconds and casually walking up to the line of scrimmage. Now, you could not have any faith in Tua. You cannot believe in him, whatever you want to do. But your job's on the line. You're down. You got to move the ball. There was no urgency. It was almost like a preseason game feel to it. And that was beyond frustrating. And I think that led to a lot to what we're going to get to next. But what was your take? You were there seeing that as well. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, let's go, move, move, move. And they were just casually walking up to the huddle. Well, what did you think about that?
Man, I'll tell you this. It was so frustrating as a fan. I mean, look at us. You know, we spent so much money supporting our team, flying, driving, you know, helping out the local economy and things like that. So for me, freezing, exactly. For me, it's like, I understand that maybe you could be frustrated as a player, but you have a responsibility for those who literally pay your paycheck. And I don't mean the organization, I mean your fans, because your fans are watching online everywhere around the world. Your fans are in the stadium or wherever, you know, supporting local bars and stuff. You have a responsibility as an athlete to perform. And it might not be your night, but you should never look like you are completely out of it, because at that point it's like, then why are we even your fans? You know, if you're gonna, if you're not, if you don't care, why should we care? And to me, that part was so frustrating. I don't care how bad of a team you may be. I mean, you have to continue to try to perform. You might not be the best, but we should never question your efforts and your commitment to the team and to try to win. And that's the part to me that was frustrating. So to you, Lou, I totally saw it. I was so upset. There were many more words that I could have said in that game, but I couldn't because, you know, I'm his fans, and when I'm on, I can't, you know, PG-13 or PG. But it's just, it was very frustrating as a fan because, you know, I'm loving that my brother's having a great time, but I wanted to be at least like, hey, look, we just scored in your face. You know what I'm saying? Like something. It means something for me to be excited about. And we
never had that moment, unfortunately. But yeah, that was tough. Shout out to Benny in the house. Benny, thanks for tuning in, my man. And Dennis chimes in as well. He was right there next to us. How many times did I hear you yell, why are you cuddling? Yeah, boy, I mean, we got to, you know, try to move the ball, have a little bit of sense of urgency.
I think they're trying to stay warm together. Yeah. I get it, because that's what we were doing too.
Yes.
Okay, so next day, we wake up. We're still in Pittsburgh. You're still in Pittsburgh, and we find the news. So I'm going to play a short clip from NBC to kind of lead us into this. So here we go.
And fans wasted no time weighing in. Sparking big reactions across South Florida. The Dolphins benching Tua and turning to rookie QUINN Ewers. And fans wasted no time weighing in, with social media blowing up. Trish Christakis spoke with Dolphin fans who made the trip to Pittsburgh, found many believe that this move was overdue. Yeah, you guys, well, this QB switch up comes just 2 days after the Dolphins officially eliminated from the playoffs. You will now see that rookie QUINN Ewers instead of Tua Tagovailoa. And I spoke to a couple fans who said that it's about time that Tua was benched. Take a look. All of this happening just 2 days after the Dolphins were officially eliminated from the playoffs.
The Miami Dolphins select QUINN Ewers, QB, Texas.
QUINN Ewers, the 7th-round draft pick out of Texas, will be under center for the Dolphins on Sunday. This will be just his 2nd NFL game. Ewers saw action against the Browns back in October, and he is earning about $1 million from the Dolphins this season. That's about $50 million less than the man he's replacing. Tua, as a quarterback, should be the leader, and he's not taking us to the next steps, not taking us to a playoff game, not taking us to a playoff win. It's about time. Ashley Dominguez, a sports podcaster in South Florida, traveled to the Dolphins game against the Steelers and says she's happy Ewers is getting the start. We have nothing to lose, Give him a shot off the bench. He's ready. He's excited. I'm down for it. But the bigger question among fans, will Ewers show enough to be the long-term answer? I think he's great for now. I think it's great exposure for him, but we really need a QB1 that's going to take us to the next level. Ewers' college resume includes leading Texas to 27 wins and 2 college football playoff appearances over 3 seasons. He was the Big 12 championship MVP in 2023 and finished 3rd in school history in passing yards and passing touchdowns.
All right. So yesterday,
good job. First of all, I'd like to say great job by you in that interview. Nice job.
Thank you. So my friend with NBC.
Can I get your autograph?
Oh, stop.
Get in line. Get in line.
No, stop it. So Trish said, "Hey, Ash, do you want to talk about Tua? When do I ever want to talk about Tua?" So the last time she came to me is when I spoke about Jimmy Butler. So she's caught me like at bad times, like Jimmy Butler and Tua. I'm like, let's talk about some positive news. So obviously, you guys know. The decision was made that on Sunday against the Bengals, Tua will not be the starter. It'll be Quinn Ewers. So you're going from QB1 to QB3, meaning Zach Wilson is not even in the equation right now. We're going from QB1 to QB3. So let's get right into it. What were your initial thoughts? Were you surprised? How do you feel going into the Bengals? How do you feel going against the Bengals, the 4-10 Bengals this week with Quinn Ewers as your starting quarterback?
Well, I'm going to have to give the same energy a lot of fans gave, and I think you'll understand once I say it. I think that Matt McDaniel is a scumbag. He's sabotaging Tua. He is, he's not giving Tua the opportunity to correct this. And to me, we need to get rid of him because of that. 100%. And to me, that's what I have to say. He's sabotaging Tua, and he shouldn't have done that. Now, let me bring context into this. That's exactly what they said about Brian Flores, and I'm a huge Brian Flores fan. And to me, I thought it was ridiculous. So I wouldn't even say that at this time. I think that Brian Flores, just like now Mike McDaniel, realizes we have to move on. We can't win with this guy. And unfortunately, it took some people years to see it. Some of us and a couple others, we saw it early enough where you can start seeing signs. I think this is the right move. I want to see what our young guys are going to be doing. And Quinn Ewers, we drafted him seventh round. Can he be a Brock Purdy? Can he be a solid backup? I honestly wish we would have benched Tua when it was a 5th-year option. Let him play in a 5th-year option and let Skylar Thompson, start that whole season. That's what I wanted, but instead of paying him. But we're here 2 years later, already paid him, and now we're with Quinn Ewers. We got to see what the young guy has. I want to give him every opportunity. We know what Zach Wilson is, so there's no need. He's going to be a solid backup. Is he probably frustrated? It's like, man, I can't even get a shot to start. Well, I mean, you're a backup. So right now we got to give our guy the opportunity to show us what he's got before we, get into the offseason and decide what we end up doing. But I think this is the right move. I think it's a little too late. To me, when we were 2-1 forever, we should have done it then. I think we waited way too long coming into this is like you had the opportunity to have a top 5 pick again. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it to draft a quarterback. I'm saying that let's start getting these positional needs that we need, like a right guard, like a right tackle, and those top picks that you can't buy. Let's be honest. You can't buy it, or they're very expensive to buy in free agency. Let's go ahead and get that. But no, instead of doing that, we go ahead and win a few games that we had no business in winning because we're just not a good team and we didn't have a good quarterback. So to me, it's too late. If we lose the next 4 games, it's still the same outcome that I predicted prior to the season starting. I had us going 6-11. Yeah, 6-11. If we end up losing every game, it'll be 6-11. If we win one, we'll be 7-10 or whatever. So for me, it's just a little too late. We could have probably had a much better pick. Now we're in the perennial
same circle over and over.
The 18th. Like, I've seen this movie. Now I'm just 6 years older, and I really can't stand the fact that I have to go through this again as a fan. We should have never paid him.
No, that's 100%. That looking back on it now, that was the worst decision that was ever made. I will say,
picking him at 5 was the worst decision. The second worst decision was paying him.
Well, that was the first one, right? But Greer advocated for him, and so did McDaniel. They both fought to get him that contract, and obviously it was now a mistake. Now, a lot of people are saying that Wilson should have been the choice, but look, this particular game on Sunday, it's against the Bengals who are out.
Let's talk about that. The Bengals are 4-10.
You got 2 teams that are out of the playoffs, and so it doesn't make sense to start Wilson in this game. Now, the next week against the Bucks and potentially Week 18 against the Patriots, there could be playoff positioning on the line. So I understand how the right thing to do is put out your best foot forward, but we got to see if Quinn Ewers is a guy. He's just 22 years old right now. He doesn't turn 23 until March. He's going to be making his first start opposite Joe Burrow this Sunday, as we know. And, in college, he played in some huge game, 3 full years at Texas, 9,000 yards, 68 touchdowns, 24 interceptions, 37 career total college games. He played in big playoff games. So, you cannot just leave him there without taking a chance at seeing what you got of him. So hopefully that's the case.
So the Bengals are 8-17 all time against the Dolphins. So they generally do not do well against us. This is only Joe Burrow's 6th game of the season. Obviously, he's coming off of injury. What else is new? He's a very injury-prone man, but when he's good and he's healthy. He's really good. The one person I want to bring out that when I was working on the show today and thinking about, Gesicki, I need to know, Miss Phins, will you be wearing your Mike Gesicki Dolphins jersey this Sunday?
Okay, so this is like really hard for me because if you guys know or don't know, I'm a huge Mike Gesicki fan. Yes, I said Gesicki.
Sorry, I apologize.
You didn't hear that wrong, guys. It's Gesicki. He's literally my favorite Dolphin player outside of Jason Tatum. Not Jason Tatum. What I'm talking about? Jason Taylor. Jason Taylor. My bad. That's my all-time favorite Dolphin.
Either.
Yes, but see, number 8 is my favorite with Matt Moore, but he's a backup. Like I love Matt Moore, but I'm like I can't get that jersey. And then we got Gesicki, and he's 88, and he's actually like good. And I'm like, oh, somebody I can follow. I'm like, oh, man, he's really cute. So I'm like, let's go. So in honor of him signing my boob, I will definitely be wearing his jersey. Yes, I will be wearing my Dolphins, Mike Gesicki jersey that he signed too.
That was going to be my bet. I had all my money on you. This season, he's played all 10 games, 1 receiving touchdown. He's had 212 receiving yards. He's not putting up really the same numbers he did in Miami. He's doing what he has to kind of do in the Bengals. Watch him come back here.
How much look?
That's the thing. He's not getting the opportunities. Obviously, half with Joe Burrow, half with the backup. But I'm excited to see him this weekend, like you, right? I mean, another homecoming. I'm happy for you that you get to see him. Before we let you go, give us a score prediction for Sunday.
This is gonna be a Quinn Ewers, Jesus Christ. This is gonna be a very interesting game. I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game. Both defenses are blue. Offenses, are going to be blue. So I'd say maybe like a 23-21 Bengals. Do I think we're going to win? No. But I think that we should be able to make it competitive. I think the run game is probably where we're going to lean in the most. And, role players tend to play better at home. So we expect that to happen. And at Waller over Gesicki, please. Okay? Please.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to entertain that. It's going to be Gesicki. But he can't block. Neither can Waller. I mean, hello. But, don't get me started.
You're going to defend your man. I know it. So,
but no, 23-21 Bengals.
Okay.
Nice. What do you got?
We're going to talk about our predictions a
Okay,
little bit. Yeah, I just wanted to have hers on record.
I will say this also. It's alumni weekend. They're going to be wearing their throwbacks, the best uniform combo in professional sports.
Agreed.
Which is pretty awesome that Quinn Ewers is going to be making his first start in those in those unis and that logo with those colors. So that's pretty awesome. So a lot of people will be in town. Speaking of which,
Primo.
I got 2 signs to show. This is the sign for the first game. You want to hold that up?
Sure.
First game sign that we got at the at Acrisure Stadium for Monday Night Football. It's pretty cool. And speaking of Alumni Weekend, as you know, Ms. Phins and everybody out there by now, we are trying to get Richmond Webb into the Hall of Fame.
He's flying in with Chandra this weekend.
Yeah, so we had this great sign made, and everybody who we ran into in Pittsburgh signed it. So thank you to everybody who signed the sign. And again, we are trying to get Richmond Webb into that Hall of Fame where he belongs.
All right, Miss Phins, well, first of all, we had a blast with you tonight, but even more, we had such a dang good time with you in Pittsburgh, despite the outcome, from the social to just walking around the stadium, and of course, the experience of the stadium. So we look forward to doing more away games with you and your brother in the future. Let everybody know where they can find you, where they can follow you, about your show. Plug it all in.
Yes, so you can find me, Miss Phins, on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. Everything is Miss Phins, MISSPHINS. As far as my show, look, this season, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been a little down, but also as another thing, I've been busy with work, which is a blessing. So I haven't been able to do what I typically do, which is Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. But I will be getting back into that flow, shortly for sure. But you can find me typically in the mornings, 8 a.m. and Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. as well.
You and Joe Rose have the best morning shows. Check them out.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Guys. Like and subscribe to these guys. They do so much work. They're primo.
You too.
Primo. Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you. Be good.
All right, guys. So that was Miss Phins in the house. Again, she traveled with us to Pittsburgh. We had a great time with her. But let's switch a little gears. We already talked about the Dolphins. We'll talk more about them maybe a little later. We spoke about Quinn Ewers being the starting quarterback this Sunday against the Bengals. And then we are going to talk about more about our Pittsburgh trip a little later on. But I want to bring on our special guest.
Can I introduce him? Or you want to? Well, you can introduce him, but I will say this. Dolphin season is over. They've been eliminated. But another team in Miami, football team, is still playing, and that is the University of Miami Hurricanes. And go ahead, introduce.
All right. So we were going to have him on last week, but it actually worked out better this week because now we're getting closer to the game.
Leading up to game time.
He's a very busy person. He does like dad duties, and then he's also a teacher, and then he's just so good at sport content. So he's like all inclusive. So without further ado, Will from 305 Sports Now, my brother, what is going on?
First of all, thank you so much for that introduction. Those words mean a lot. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ashley and Lou, for having me on again. It's a pleasure being on your show. I really enjoy it.
No, we're excited to have you. Obviously, we know you're busy with the holidays. We were talking this morning, he works at a school. I work at a school. We were just talking about all of the millions of amazing gifts that we've gotten, like pretty much nothing. So excited for your teachers, your administrators.
Absolutely.
We look forward to those Christmas gifts.
Yeah,
even if
especially
it's
holidays.
chocolate, definitely go. All right, so let's get into it, right? Mm-hmm. Last week, was it last week or the week before? It was whatever. Not last Sunday, the Sunday before, Selection Sunday, 12 o'clock. I know what I was doing. You were on the couch here. You all know what we were doing. And we heard the spots, right? Alabama, Ohio State, Indiana, blah, 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 blah. And then we know the last spot. And we're like, okay, this is either going to probably go two ways. It's either going to go to the Fighting Irish or to the Canes. And what I liked about it is that they didn't make us like, wait, it wasn't like a huge pause. They were just like Canes. And we were like, let's go, let's go.
You saw the orange and the green pop over the screen, and we went nuts. We're like, wow, the Canes are in, baby.
So when that happened, the first thing I thought about when they announced against the Aggies, I thought about Richmond Webb because Richmond Webb is very, very, very special to me. And I support him in so many different ways. And I'm like, damn, I'm not going to be able to support Richmond. Like, Richmond is going to be the damn enemy. So that was my first thought.
That's right. I'm going to rip that sign up. Forget it.
So let's talk about the game. This Saturday, December 12th, it's a 12 p.m. kickoff. It's at Kyle Field, College Station. The Canes lead all-time football series against the Aggies 3-2. So, okay.
They don't play too often. Different conferences, they don't play too often, but that's a history there on teams.
Yeah.
So, big matchup. So, what do you think? Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Well, first things foremost, I just want to say that Richmond Webb has also been on my show, and he's an amazing human being. I mean, I remember when he first said yes to come on my show, I was shocked, and it's a real experience. I watched him as a kid block for Dan Marino, so I'm like, this guy's gonna be on my show. So I had to compose myself, you know, when I first saw him. Like, is this the real dude? It's like, it was just amazing, man. So I'm like, yeah, I forgot he wasn't. I thought about a couple days ago. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's an Aggie. He must be loving it right now that his team's in the college football playoffs. Well, as far as the game goes, I think it's gonna be a really good game. I think both teams are very evenly matched. I think it's gonna be a very close game. I think Miami wins by a touchdown in this game. Yeah, I think Miami does win by a touchdown. I'm also biased. Let's be perfectly frank about it, right? As well. But what I thought when I first saw that we entered the college football bracket, I'm like 10th. That means Notre Dame is 9th or something like that. And no, I saw that Alabama right there, who I personally think does not deserve to be there. They were pretty crappy against Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Auburn basically gave them the game, and they get shellacked by Georgia completely in their conference game, and they didn't even move, you know, at all, and they get to play Oklahoma. But nonetheless, if Miami wins and is able to go hopefully all the way, this is probably going to be one of the most successful seasons, because if you look at the brackets the way they are, Miami has the toughest road to the national championship. You're facing A&M over there, then you take on the defending national champion Ohio State, possibly a matchup with Georgia, and then you draw either possibly Oregon or Indiana in the game. So it's going to be very, very challenging for the Canes this upcoming bracket. Going back to I'm just excited, sorry guys, but
I love it.
But talking about the game this upcoming Saturday, it's very evenly matched teams. A&M has a really good offensive line. We're bigger, but they do have a really good offensive line. They have a dynamic quarterback who's very athletic. They have a good running game. Le'Veon Moss has missed about 5 or 6 weeks. He's a talented running back. It's unsure. He's listed as probable, or I forgot. He's listed as questionable for the game. So we'll see what happens. I have a feeling he is going to play because the stakes are so high as well. They have 2 stud receivers over in A&M, and Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion. We know him personally because he used to play for NC State, right, as well. They have probably one of the best pass rushers in the country, Tashius Howe, who has 11.5 sacks for the season. He's like second in the NCAA in sacks this season. So it's going to be a very good game. But, of course, we have Carson Beck, who's been playing lights out. The last 4 games, 11 touchdowns, 1 pick. We have a plethora of running backs that we could throw at them that are big body, and a shifty one that I was dying to see him after spring game get some run, and that's Gerard Pringle. Ever since they've injected Gerard Pringle into the lineup as a starter, the Miami Hurricane offense has been more electric because now they're running outside. They're using him in the passing game. He's great at pass blocking as well, and he's just completely opened up the offense, all right, altogether for Miami. And, of course, the wrinkles of Malachi Tony as well.
I'm obsessed with Malachi Tony. I got to tell you guys. I do have to tell you something, though. So Malachi Tony did donate something for an upcoming silent auction that I have to benefit the school. So I get an autograph of him on a helmet. I look at the autograph. His autograph, even my boss said, is the most basic autograph. If you ever see his autograph, all it is
That's disappointing.
All it is. I'm going to show you guys one day. All it is, it's empty. Empty. The letter M, the letter T.
Oh, maybe he's like Prince, or he's a symbol. He's that good. I mean, that's the only fault he has, because he does everything else spectacular.
Yeah.
So, we'll take it on that.
You could definitely know it.
Well,
empty.
So I want to follow up. So, Texas A&M, the Aggies playing in the SEC, the premier conference in college football. They had a great year, but they also, because of scheduling quirks, didn't play against Georgia, didn't play against Alabama this year. So, their schedule was a little looser than it normally would be for an SEC powerhouse. They did have common opponents, as in Notre Dame and Florida. They barely got by Notre Dame, and they beat Florida kind of the same way we were beating them before we let them get back in the game. So how about that perspective? The common opponents aspect, and their not as powerful schedule as they had this year.
Well, the thing is about that is that every week is a different game, for all teams. And I have a lot of respect for their head coach, Mike Elko. He used to coach at Duke. He made Duke a pretty good football team. He was actually the head coach of Riley Leonard when he went to A&M. Riley Leonard went to Notre Dame. So he always has his team very well prepared, and he schemes very well on the defensive side of the ball. So that's the one thing. I do think that Miami will have an advantage at the line of scrimmage, because I don't think, from what I understand, aside from Texas, they haven't faced an offensive line as powerful as Miami's, right? Miami has the average weight, I think, is like 310 pounds and like 6'4". So these guys are monstrous. Markel Bell is 6'9" or something like that, 50 pounds. So it's going to be a very, I think our offensive line is going to have the advantage because their D-line that's a bit undersized, to say the least. But I wouldn't sleep on anybody. We're playing in their home field, despite the fact that I know people could say that it doesn't matter. You have to play on the road, big games. Regardless, a loud crowd, delay of games could be caused. False starts could be caused as well. If the O-lineman can't hear the snap count, they can move quicker than they want to as well. And that could stall drives or kill momentum on several occasions, because 3rd and 2 could become 3rd and 7. And Texas A&M is really good in 3rd and 4th and beyond. So that's something to really think about, in this game. But yeah, I mean, they haven't really had that schedule. They beat Notre Dame. They came back against Notre Dame, actually. They were on the road at South Bend. Notre Dame had a 10-point lead. The Aggies, to their credit, came back and were able to win that football game. Also, Notre Dame, I think, had a mishap on special teams. That's actually how they won the football game. They were able to do that, right, as well. So that's where I'm at. They should have lost to South Carolina. And someone told somebody in A&M, if you do that to Miami, like if you're down 33 against Miami, they're going to put 60 on you. So if Miami gets in a huge lead, I don't see Texas A&M pulling that trump card on them in general. So that's how I see the game. It's still an SEC team. They're well coached. They recruit well. They did well in the transfer portal as well. So I mean, either way, it's gonna be a tough atmosphere. It's a good matchup for Miami.
So I got a question for you. Switching gears from Miami a little bit.
Yeah.
Heisman Award announced. It was on Saturday night. We find out that local boy Columbus Mendoza wins the Heisman. Feelings on that? Was that the guy? And where do you see Mendoza going from here? Do you feel any certain team should go for? I would love him Miami. I mean, I want to know your opinion on Mendoza. Yeah,
well, it's funny though, a little bit about Mendoza. I think the first 3-4 games of the season, he had like 17 touchdowns and 1 interception. And I was hearing, and of course, I'm happy about Carson Beck, but I was hearing Carson Beck Heisman. I was hearing about Marcel Reed Heisman. I'm not Marcel Reed. I was hearing about Ruben Bain Heisman. And I was hearing about all these guys possibly, being nominated for the Heisman. I was going to talk about Fernando Mendoza.
Another one.
Yeah, Pavia, yes, another one. He's an interesting character.
His father, all of them.
But I'm like, why isn't Mendoza not being mentioned? As the season progressed, and then the Heisman voters like, hey, this kid's pretty good. I'm very happy for him. He's a humble young man. Let's be honest, he wanted to be here, and we never gave him a shot. Manny Diaz offered him a walk-on spot, so of course he's gonna go to Cal. And when he hit the transfer portal, we had our eyes set on John Mattia or Carson Beck. Those are the two guys that I believe Miami was fixated on. Never really gave Mendoza a shot. He gets an opportunity with Indiana, and Kirk Cignetti, love him or hate him, the guy could coach. All right, the guy could absolutely coach. He took a basketball school and made it a football power, and he played well within the system. He doesn't make many mistakes, but he's also elusive. He doesn't get enough credit for being a good scrambler and extending plays as well with his legs. So I'm happy for him. And I'll be very frank with you. If Miami Dolphins could land Fernando Mendoza, you pull that trigger and you land Fernando Mendoza. He already has a better arm than Tua. He's more durable than Tua. Wesley Bassett almost killed him. All right. He was at Cal. He got back up and finished the game. Okay. I mean, you can hear that pop, from your television set. And he got up and finished the game. He's already more durable than Tua. So if Miami can find a way to land that young man, I say give it a shot. I think he'll do well with the receivers we have on the team, and I think he'll love working with Devon Achane.
We would have to trade up, obviously, to get him. I don't think he would
trade up a lot. I don't know if
do it. Hell, you've traded for more picks than what has gotten you a mediocre team that can't even win a playoff game and not can't even make the playoffs. Go for a franchise quarterback. You already have some pieces. A franchise quarterback could change your fortunes in 1 or 2 seasons. And look at Bo Nix in Denver. Look what he's done for that team. All right. Yeah, and look, Denver's like one of the best teams in the NFL right now with a good defense and a solid offense. If you can get a franchise quarterback, if he's that dude, the Dolphins do have some pieces. I still hate our offensive line. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not a big fan of it. But the Dolphins do have pieces on offense that he could work with Achane, with Wright, with Ollie Gordon, with Waddle as well. I think we need another tight end, to be honest with you. That's a good pass catcher. I don't know how long Waddle's going to be in the NFL, to be honest with you. Right. But the bottom line is, though, you go for it. What do you have to lose? This franchise needs an injection of energy. It really does. Right. So I say go for it.
Yeah, nothing to lose. And like you said, when you get a player of that caliber, I mean, he's already turned around Indiana, who's never won anything, and has them right now as a number one seed in the college football playoffs. I mean, I never thought I'd see that day. So that's tremendous.
I liked what he said. Shout out to our brother, Adrian. Beck will be the reason the Canes win or lose. It's obviously going to fall very heavily.
It'll come down to that. And then I want to thank also Sammy for reposting the stream. Thanks. Once again, guys, if you're watching on X, come on over to YouTube, like tonight's episode, and subscribe to the channel. Will, I want to go back to Texas A&M, and you mentioned that incredible home field advantage. Well, I want to bring on a special guest who's actually been there, and I'm biased. My favorite guest we will ever have on the show, my brother, Danny Dominguez, D-Money as I call him. Danny, welcome into the show here.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
What's going on?
So, Danny, you're on here with Will and, of course, my wife, Ashley, your sister-in-law.
Hi, hello.
Nice meeting you, sir.
Nice to meet you, Will. Love your content, and I've seen you here a couple times, so it's
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support.
Man, Will's ex-A1 sauce with us.
So, Danny,
thank you.
Let's get right into it. You were at Kyle Field a couple of years ago when the Canes were there. 102,733 fans, known for the 12th man, and the place is rocking. Here's a picture of it right here. Let me know about it. You were there. What was your experience when you were there?
So I'm happy it's a noon/11 a.m. game for them, because these guys get wild, and so the tailgate was like none other all day, and to show up there for a night game, it was quite the experience. I will say, man, they do it right there. I mean, the tailgating, the people, I will admit, were super nice. We had a great time, and we had that game, as I could say, on many of the road trips that I've been on, and all my fellow Canes out there that have experienced a defeat on the road. We had that game. It was a close game. Van Dyke was our quarterback at the time, 17-9, I went to both the home and home the following year, which we got them pretty good that next year when they came to Hard Rock. And but the crowd was amazing. The only thing I wish is College Station is about an hour and a half. You guys have been to Houston. It's an hour and a half drive, and so we got a hotel in Houston, so we couldn't go to the midnight yell the night before. And
what is that?
So they get together at midnight. And they go over all the chants and the cheers for the following, for the game, and then also they roast, the opponent and get into some things. And so it's supposedly a good experience, but I wasn't able to make that. But other than that, I felt like I took it all in. The crowd was amazing, and that's what you get in these college towns.
Will, have you been there?
No, I have not. I have not. I'll be honest with you. I've never. Hopefully, my son's older. I'll be traveling with you guys. Just so I can take some games. I've never been to the first time I ever went to an opposing team's home field was this past year. I was working as an AP reader, and I was in Kansas City. and I'm a Yankees fan. And the Yankees, I was lucky. It landed. The Yankees played in where the Royals play, and I actually went to a road game. So I didn't know how to take it because I've never seen an atmosphere from a road. The people in Kansas City were the nicest people like I had ever dealt with. As far as I'm just here to have a good time. Oh yeah, welcome and enjoy the game. I was like, okay, have our barbecue. They're really nice. So no, I've never been to College Station.
And some games that I've actually been to, my first college football game ever, I grew up right next to Rutgers, the town right next to. So I went to the game where Rutgers beat Louisville back in, I think, 2007, where they had no business beating them.
Okay.
I went to the Canes versus Virginia Tech with my brother a few years ago. And then I also went to a few Ole Miss games in Oxford. So I've had a few college football experiences, but nothing like you, Danny. I mean, that looks like something out of a movie. So,
Danny, I got to follow up. Will was saying they were nice to him in Kansas City. Were they nice to you in College Station? Were the fans, on top of you? How was it?
Absolutely. No, super nice the whole way through, and none of that whole. They didn't really talk smack to us after they beat us. It was great. I'll give a quick shout out just because we were naming places. The nicest place, hands down, Nebraska. The Cornhusker fans, those guys are unbelievable, because that was actually a game that we beat them, and they were still like what Will said, enjoy our barbecue. We cannot believe you came here and spent your money in our town. It was amazing. So it was an incredible experience. But yeah, this was great. I have fingers crossed. It was close, but with kids' activities, I couldn't make this. But I got the tickets locked in. I'm committing. I'm going to call it here live on the show. I'm committing New Year's Eve to Dallas to beat the Buckeyes if we win this game.
Wow. Heck yeah. Let's do it.
You gotta get payback. Gotta get payback for that ridiculous call where that flag came out like a minute after the play was over. So hopefully payback can score.
And they could replay that for the week leading up to the game, so everybody can see the robbery that it was, and it'll motivate our guys. And Mario will get them fired up for it. So I'm super hyped for that.
And I'll be very blunt with you. That is a very annoying fan base. When I first started my show, and we were always fighting for recruits. They were always they were in my comment section. Oh, Miami. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, because they know that down here we talk about that they didn't earn that championship. Yeah. That it was given to them by the referees. So it's still inside. They had that chip on their shoulder that we say down here they didn't earn it. So they are in a very obnoxious fan base. They really them and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish too. The Crying Irish actually is what I call them now.
I would say top two. Yeah.
There you go. I did want to ask you guys, the big factor in this game, in my opinion, is going to be Mario Cristobal. He's had some moments where game's been on the line and he hasn't pressed the right button, made the right call. Are you guys a little nervous about that? And give us your final score here. Danny, you said they're going to win. Give us a final score, and then we'll go to you, Will. What do you got, bro?
I got 31-24, Miami.
Nice. Okay. All right, Will, what do you think? And are you nervous about Cristobal?
I'm not. I got the same score as Danny. It's funny. Miami has given up 24 points in regulation the entire season, more than 24 points. They only gave up 26 to SMU, but that was in overtime. So I think we keep that moniker of 24 and under. And as far as Cristobal goes, I'm not concerned, and because the thing with the Canes, and I don't know if Danny and yourselves will agree with me. The problem with Miami is not against A&M, it's not against Notre Dame, it's not against Florida, it's not against Florida State. It's when they play like Louisville, when they play Georgia Tech, they tend to play down to the competition. Miami tends to pick up, their energy when they face a team that supposedly is better than them. And I think that atmosphere in College Station is really gonna hype these players up to basically go out there and send the fan base home unhappy. So I'm not that concerned about Cristobal. The only thing I'm concerned about is before halftime, him kneeling and going into the locker room. I think that this is a game where you have to go balls to the wall and you have to score as much as you can, because we saw what A&M did to South Carolina. They came back 30-3. I don't think they will do that to Miami. Miami's defense is far beyond better than South Carolina's, but still, these are games where you can't leave any points on the field.
Yep. So, all right. And all right. So last thing here. Who do you guys think will play in the national championship down here in the Hard Rock, by the way? That game is scheduled to be played here. So who do you think will end up in Miami?
Okay. I don't want to jinx it and say Miami, so I'll keep that one out. I will say it could be Miami versus, my pick would be Indiana, to be frank with you. I know everybody wants the Oregon matchup, but I think if they face each other again in the semifinals, I think Indiana will get them again.
All right. And Danny, what do you think?
I listen. I'll be the homer. I got to. But I love the story of Miami, Indiana, in Miami with Mendoza being the quarterback. I think it would be a heck of a story.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a tremendous story. All right. So I guess I'm not going to follow up with Tulane James Madison final. I don't think a lot of people will be interested in that.
I really hope that they take it seriously with the talks here, that they let the group of five have their own championship. And
I agree 100%.
Yeah. Let's get these, Vanderbilt, Notre Dame, as much as I hate them, these guys deserve the shot. We were right on the outside looking in last year. So we're right there. You eliminate that little clause, and I think nobody's going to complain anymore.
Yeah. Well, Russ said it's going to be Notre Dame. I mean, they're not even playing in a full game.
But nice try, Russ. All right, bro. Thanks for joining us and giving us that great perspective on Kyle Field. And I look forward to you being back in Texas at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas for a rematch between Miami and Ohio State. That would be awesome.
Coming back on the show for it from Dallas.
There you go. You heard it here first. All right, so take my brother out.
All right, Danny, really bye.
See you, guys, thank you.
We'll see you in Noche
Danny.
Merry Christmas, guys. Take care.
Merry Christmas.
Okay.
So you have something special going on tomorrow that I definitely want you to tell everybody what is tomorrow. Wait, first of all, tomorrow's your last day of school, right? Then you guys go on winter break?
Yes.
Okay, so that's huge alone, right?
Yes.
So
party time.
I unfortunately do not get winter break because I work for a church as well. But all of my teachers out there, you guys are well deserved, and I'm so glad for you. So you go on winter break tomorrow. But what else is going on tomorrow in your life?
Okay, so I did something a little different. Okay, I did something a little different. So what I did was I'm creating a cinematic hype video tribute to the 2025 season for the Miami Hurricanes. I just finished it. I'm gonna upload it tomorrow. Being the history nerds, I'm a history teacher. It's got kind of like a medieval theme attached to it. So it will air. It will be dropping tomorrow at noon. If you guys like it, if it gets eyeballs and stuff like that, I may do more like that. You know, because I try to be a little different, and trust me, you guys will like it. I think you guys will totally enjoy it.
I love it.
Okay.
I cannot wait to see it. So guys, tomorrow at 12, be sure to go. You're going to drop it on what? Twitter or X, and then on your YouTube channel as well?
On YouTube. It's going to be straight on YouTube.
YouTube, guys.
305 Sports Now.
So
Yeah,
be sure
it will be on YouTube. I'm sorry, it's going to be on YouTube, but I'm going to tag you guys on X so you guys can share it as well.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So you guys, what you want to do now, or until tomorrow and everything, go on Will's YouTube channel, 305 Sports Now, subscribe so that when he drops it mañana at 12, you can get it. You'll be the first one to see it. Will's a big history nerd like us. It's a special bond that we have. History is such a beautiful story that we have to continue to share unless it'll just go in the cracks. And I cannot wait to see what you created. So very excited. And then Will, in general, tell everybody where they can find you.
All right. So you guys can find me on YouTube on 305 Sports Now. Please hit that the like button. Please subscribe. It's really easy. Just go you like, and that's it. And hit subscribe. Awesome. All right. As well, you can find me also on X, okay, at William Padron at 305 Sports Now. You can find me on IG at 305 Sports Now. My IG is private, but if you follow me, I'll do 2 and 2 together. That you guys are Dolphin fans, Canes fans, and I'll follow you back as well. And you can also find me on Facebook on 305 Sports Now as well.
Perfect. Well, thank you so. It worked out well that you joined us this week. We are even that much closer to Saturday's matchup. 12 o'clock against the Aggies. Obviously, we're a Canes household here, Canes Nation down here. I don't know anybody living in South Florida who reps the Aggies. So if you are, get the heck out of here.
Well, Richmond's in town.
But he's not a South Florida.
And HN as well.
Okay, well, fine. Be like that. Well, we will be cheering for the Canes. You'll be cheering for the Canes. And we wish you and your family a wonderful, happy holiday season. And we hope to catch up with you soon to talk about more Canes. So we'll talk to you soon.
Well, thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate both of you having me on. I want to say Merry Christmas to both of you. Thank you so much for all your support for the show. Yeah, I know Lou and Ashley, you guys do a good job of retweeting my episodes whenever they come out. So I'm very appreciative of that as well. And ladies and gents, if this is your first time watching SoFLo Sports, please subscribe to their channel. They do a lot of good work. Right? They even have a travel company, and they'll take you with them. As well to road games. So
freeze your butts off with us. Have you ever got it? Whatever.
Yeah, I gotta admire you guys, man. You guys braced that Golden Pit, and that game sucked. All right, it sucked. It so sucked. It so sucked.
It's so bad right now.
Nobody can say, "Oh, you're not a real fan." No. Let me show you this. I'll show you a picture of me bundled up in Pittsburgh, freezing my ass off.
He got frostbite on his butt. Like literally, he was like, "My butt feels wet," and I looked, his butt was red because he didn't put enough layers on the seat. And
I'm all right now.
You literally had frostbite on your butt. So we appreciate that. We put a lot of heart and soul, not even to the team, but to the community. And we
love it. It's a passion, just like you. So, we have a passion for sports, and we love to share it with people who have similar passion. So, but Will, thanks again for joining us. Can't wait to see that drop tomorrow.
Thank you.
What time again?
12. It's gonna be at noon.
12. High noon. We'll see it. That's the way to start Friday.
Exactly 24 hours before the game.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, 24 hours.
All right, bud. We'll see you soon, and go Canes.
Go Canes. What about you guys? Thank you.
Go.
Adrian said protect them cheeks. Yeah, he bundled up everything else. He had his gloves, but sitting on the seat, you gotta remember, his butt was frozen. So
speaking of frozen and cold, we were in Pittsburgh. It was cold.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about the trip. Last 10 minutes of the show, we'll guys tell you what's going on. So as mentioned before, I have been to Pittsburgh many, many times. I used to do a lot of business out there, so I would travel there many times throughout the year. So I was excited to take Lou out there and kind of show him the city. It's one of my favorite cities. It's a very underrated city. known as the Steel City. So we get there Friday. No issues with flying. You know, I know it's around the holidays. There's snow and stuff. We had a beautiful flight. Shout out to American Airlines. We're very loyal to you. So thank you for everything. We get there at 2 o'clock. At that point, Lou was like, we need to detour. And I said, why do we need to detour? There was a shuttle company called, I don't have a picture of it, but I'll tell you guys, called Air Marino. And basically, it's just a park and go. So they have a parking lot off property. And if you need to leave your car there, they will drive you to the airport. So Air Marino. We get to the hotel. We check in. First thing we have is a 6 p.m. Christmas trolley tour. I told Lou, like, hey, we're going to start this trip right. It's cold. Pittsburgh's very good with the holidays. So we do, it's called Molly's Trolley. They do a Christmas tour. They take you all around the city.
Bring your own booze on the trolley,
We
going
smashed
around.
through that so quick, though.
Went right through it. You saw all the sights. Pittsburgh does a tremendous job of, setting up decorations and trees and lights all over town. So their bridges had lights on them.
Stunning.
It was amazing. So we had a great time, and we capped it off with an amazing dinner at Market Square.
We
Italian
did,
dinner.
but before that, they also have amazing Christmas pop-up bars. So just you walk in and there's tinsels and lights and Christmas music. So we did that.
So cool.
Then they have like marketplaces outside with tons of shopping. This was one of my favorite spots. It was a light up tree. We look so stinking cute there. Like, I mean, winter looks really good on me. Not to toot my own horn, but I love winter.
Yeah, you're down here in South Florida, and you're in shorts and you're in sandals, and you got palm trees.
I wish we wear less clothes than more, but when you wear more clothes, it's cute.
And not Christmas trees, so you really get into the feel of the holidays when you see it all lit up and when you experience the cold, which we certainly did. So
that was on Friday. And then Friday night, we went to dinner in Market Square. It's like the main area. Went to an amazing Italian restaurant. Oh my gosh, the food was so good. Homemade pasta. So then the next day we wake up and it is Saturday. At that point, we already knew we were going to go to the hockey game. PPG Arena was right behind our hotel. We're big hockey fans. The Penguins were playing San Jose Sharks. So we're like, hey, we're already committed to go to that game. Also, there was a Sidney Crosby bobblehead.
Yes,
as you guys know, Lou is a major bobblehead collector. This man has thousands of bobbleheads.
I saw Kirk in the chat. So Kirk, Tim gave us the Willie Pop Stargell bobblehead from Pittsburgh, and on Saturday we ended up getting the Sidney Crosby bobblehead. And here's what it looks like. Sidney Crosby, will go down as one of the all-time greats in hockey history. So that's his bobblehead there, complete with stick and everything. So
let me tell you guys, like, obviously, Hockey Panthers, this man, he's amazing. Younger than Brad Marchand, and what he already accomplished and what he's going to accomplish, amazing, and not hard on the eyes either. Gorgeous man. So we went to that game. So interestingly, and I thought you were talking about me.
I'm so cold.
Like, Lou, he's a good looking guy. I'm like, Lou, he's a good looking guy.
Oh, go ahead.
So we get to the game and we were told get there early for bobblehead. We're all about promotions. We know you need to get there early for promotions. This line was wrapped from here to Kalamazoo.
Craziest line
I
I've
have never seen it. It was so wrapped. Everybody wanted this bobblehead. So we waited in line. I'm like, Lou, we're probably not going to get it. And it's okay if we don't. Like, this is not our team. Obviously, you want it. By the grace of anything, we ended up getting the bobblehead. It was fantastic. So we go in, the game starts, puck drops, and then snow starts falling. And long story short, it was their first real snowstorm of the year. So much snow accumulated within about 20 hours. It's about 5 to 6 inches of snow. So the city, it happened on the weekend, and it just clustered. There was tons and tons of snow. Lou's never really seen an accumulation of snow, so he had a lot of Borat questions, meaning questions that the average Northeastern, like Russ from Pennsylvania would be like, bro, like, what do you mean you don't know? So Lou saw a lot of snow.
Right.
So we leave the game, and that night on Saturday, we have our Phins fans social. This was fantastic. This was put on last minute. We were trying to put on the details.
Yes.
We had close to 100 people at our Phins fan social. We did it at Mike's Beer Bar, which is in the North Shore area, and it was packed. So let me put that here. So this is just a little clip of the party, just some people, and you're like, who the heck is that guy in the middle? Who's that guy with the hair? So we had a special guest. Here it is.
Guys, Dan is available for pictures. If you guys want to get your pictures with Dan Marino.
So I tweeted out and I put on Facebook that Dan Marino was coming to our party. Of course, a lot of people didn't believe me, but I did not lie. There was actually one guy that was upset that, oh, come on, you promised me Dan Marino. First of all, it was a free event, and I didn't say it was definitely happening. I said it possibly could happen, but as you see, technically he did show up. This is the Dan Marino Pittsburgh mascot. Of course, Dan Marino famously played at the University of Pittsburgh, born and raised in the Steel City. So we got the mascot to come out to our event. That's a big deal.
Sammy said Ashley's such a great storyteller. Also seems to have great memory. So I will tell you, for my master's.
Thank you, Sammy.
He's talking about me, not you.
I know. I said
for me. Yeah. So when I got my MBA, part of it was that I took a class on storytelling. So I try to be very vivid when I tell stories and stuff. So thank you for that. I like to leave no details out. So thank you. Sammy, I also tell you, I had a flare up, but that's another story we'll save. Pittsburgh food is amazing, but just be prepared because
it'll get you quick.
It sure did.
My brother checking into the chat. He was just on the show. He says go Canes. So yes, you know it, bro.
No, Sam, I love articulating and highlighting and all that stuff. Okay, so that was on Saturday. So Sunday we woke up and now the snow has like really accumulated. Now we're talking like 4 to 5 inches outside. The roads are slushy and it is not nasty. I think it's beautiful, but we just know it's going to be hard to get around. So we had a tour scheduled at 11 o'clock a.m. at the Roberto Clemente Museum.
Sammy will appreciate that as well. The great
Sammy,
Puerto Rican
you have
legend.
to get yourself to the Roberto Clemente Museum.
Yep.
So it's not in downtown Pittsburgh, but it's only 10 minutes, so it's very easy to get there. So we ordered the Uber. We stopped at a great breakfast place called the Nook. Homemade breakfast, fantastic. Then we walk 5 blocks to the museum. So the museum, you just can't walk in and look, it is a guided tour. So it's maybe 15, 20 people per tour. And it's amazing. It's the whole narrative. Yes, I'm getting there. So this is an inside of the museum. So this is just the bottom floor. So you walk in, they have stuff on the walls, stuff up there. They have back rooms and everything. This was one of my favorite statues, or one of my favorite plaques that they have here. It says, anytime you have an opportunity to make a difference in this world and you don't, then you are wasting your time on earth. That was something that Roberto Clemente said. He did so much. He said so much in such a short period of time. We could do a whole episode on just the story of his life. Our tour guide, his name was Vince. He was one of the best tour guides I've ever taken a tour with. Fantastic. The curator of the museum, Dwayne, was there as well. We actually got to go downstairs and meet him. So guys, if you are in Pittsburgh, it is such a hidden jewel. You need to get to the Roberto Clemente Museum. There is no detailed spare from his early life and how he met his wife in Puerto Rico and how her family was like, hey, are you sure you want to marry her? She's just a regular girl. And
don't give away the secrets. Let them take the tour. It's well worth it.
It's stunning. So guys, definitely get there.
Yeah.
Can
I just stop really quick? I got to give a shout out. My brother's saying that he's in the car with the kids. So I want to give a shout out to Lauren and Michael. That's my niece and nephew, and Olivia. Their friend Olivia was just picked up. They're in the car. So shout out to you guys listening in the car. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the channel when you can.
We'll see you on Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.
Santa's coming.
Yes.
So after that, the town of Lawrenceville, which is where Roberto Clemente Museum was doing a cookie tour. Long story short, it's like a weekend where you support small businesses. You go in, they give you free cookies and hot chocolate. So we, of course, took advantage of that. Got a whole bunch of stuff that you wouldn't get in Miami, like peppermint soap, homemade, just wonderful. And then after that, we chilled for the night, right? We did watch some football. And then Monday was the big day. So Monday was game day. The game was at 8:15 p.m. So in the morning, we did a tour of the Steelers Hall of Fame Museum. This is a new museum, only a few years old. Again, another amazing museum. The Dolphins could essentially do something like this for the history that the Dolphins do have in their tenure. But what the Steelers did, I told Lou, within 5 minutes, I'm like, this looks like something, it feels like something in Disney. There was no details spared. And so let me show you guys a little bit of this. So this is just there's so many exhibits, right? They have the bus. Was it the bus? No, it wasn't bus.
Yeah, Jerome Bettis, but they also have the famous plays, the Immaculate Reception, which is, prominently displayed through all over. Look, they got 6 Super Bowls. They've had so many legends they actually had Jack Lambert's teeth on display.
So
his 2 middle teeth that got knocked out. Mean Joe Green, Chuck Noll. I mean, the Steel Curtain. So much history inside that facility, and pretty freaking cool, if I may say so myself.
So we did that with a whole bunch of our friends, Alejandro, a few of our guy friends, and then after, obviously, we had to go to Promante's. So the line was out the door. The thing is, we have a Promante's. We have 2 Promante's down here in South Florida. We have one in Fort Lauderdale. We have one in Oakland Park. So we do get the Promante's experience. So Lou ended up getting the Promante's sandwich to go. we left around 4:30 to go to the game. We get there, some not giveaways, but they had really cool Dolphins Steelers merch. Lou wants to showcase.
Yeah, so we went to the team store. We had a whole experience out there. We saw some of the areas where the draft is going to be taking place, which we'll show in a second. But I did pick up this cool ticket. It's a different commemorative ticket with a Miami kind of vibe, and it has the game date and it has the a seat number. So this may be a famous ticket because it could turn out to be Tua's last start or last
Last time in Miami Dolphins uniform.
And I also got the game pin. I always pick up my game pins before the game, so it's a pretty unique neon-looking one. So that was pretty awesome.
Yes, so we did that. We already spoke about how the game went. It did not go to our favor, so we'll skip that part. So we wake up on Monday. It's our last day in Pittsburgh. Wake up on Tuesday. It's our last day in Pittsburgh. We have a 6:30 flight. Again, I've been to Pittsburgh many times, so I knew we had a window of a few hours of things that we could possibly do. So I said, Lou, we're going to do the incline. Lou's not the biggest fan of heights. I knew this might be a little tough for him. I said, but we're going to do it. So the incline, there are 2 inclines in Pittsburgh. And so we actually did a little here. So let me pull this up here. So this is the incline. It is like a trolley train that he used to use in the 1800s to get the steel workers from the bottom to the top of Mount Washington. So it is still
And do you have the view? You have the view of Mount Washington?
Let me see. So
I mean, it is worth. It's like $275.
250
round trip.
No, 250 each way.
But you have to do yourself a favor if you're in Pittsburgh.
So
You got to get up to Mount Washington and check out this view. The picture doesn't do it justice. I mean, you get a complete wraparound view, unobstructed, of the entire city. Beautiful downtown. You get to see PNC Park. You get to see Acrisure Stadium.
Yeah.
You get to see the rivers, the 3 rivers, and they're gorgeous. Bridges. I think you have a picture of yourself next to the bridge. Just stunning views, panoramic views of the city. Highly, highly advised. Just overall, Pittsburgh is a wonderful city. And you get a chance to go. Run, don't walk. It's well worth it.
George is there. What's up, guys? Hello, my brother.
Hey, George.
My Mike says I'm afraid of heights. I'm so not afraid of heights. I'm such a city girl. Like claustrophobia, I will die, but I'm about that. So this was the Roberto Clemente Bridge. What else do I have here? So
we'll show how the rivers were frozen. So we actually walked this going up to the stadium. And go to there's one more that has the. As we're walking in, as we're walking over the bridge, we got a glimpse of
this I know you're talking about
of the river, and as you can see here,
I'll take one off.
As you can see in a picture in a second here, the river was completely frozen, and no boat traffic out that day because you could not navigate yourself through the water, or it would have been a Titanic moment. I mean, look at it right there. That is actually the Pittsburgh Pirates ballpark,
but
there's no room for a boat to get through there. It's iced out completely. So that was pretty fascinating.
So point of the story is it was cold. The question I've been getting asked a lot this week was it Kansas City cold? Absolutely not. Like we lived through Kansas City and that cold was the worst cold I've ever will experience in my whole entire life. But without a doubt, it was cold. Like don't get it wrong. It was very uncomfortably cold, but we did survive. The first night was probably the warmest night. And I think it was like 30 degrees. So I'm glad that we were able to do a lot that first night. But it was a very cold, uncomfortable trip. I also told Lou real quick, sometimes I get, feelings, hey, I want to go back to Jersey and stuff. I told him I will never say that I want to move back. I could be a snowbird, but that would only be living in Jersey in the summer. I could never do winters anymore. So shout out to our North people. Kirk, Jared, well, that we live down here. But we also have Russ. It is just way too cold.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it up there. But all right, we're going to get to our show question. Guys, thank you for sticking around this long. We had a lot to talk about tonight.
We had a lot of guests, a lot of fun. And the last thing, the draft is going to Pittsburgh. So here's a little picture. They have a cool countdown.
Yeah, we took that on Tuesday. So we're Thursday. So now there's 126 days left to the Dolphins have some big decisions to make. We'll see how that goes. All right, I need you to pull up the show contest and the standings.
Okay.
So while we bring that up, guys, again, if you're watching this over on X or Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Make sure you like tonight's episode and subscribe to the channel. Means a great deal. Definitely also subscribe to Will, 305 Sports Now, and Miss Phins.
Yeah,
Miss Phins are our guest. Make sure you get
didn't come through.
So make sure you subscribe to our guest channel as well as ours.
Just came through.
And like tonight's episode, please. And without further ado, Here's our leaderboard. I know Miami Mike's in the house. Miami Mike, you're not going to like this. Go to the leaderboard first. Miami Mike, I know you're in the house. You're not going to like this right now because, unfortunately, with 3 games left and 2 questions a week, you are no longer in the show leaderboard. You're not eliminated quite yet, but you're close to it. Kirk has a 16-point lead, so it's going to be tough to catch him from your perspective. But here are our top competitors right now. Kirk is at the top there, Fast Eddie second, and Russ in the room is sitting at 12. And so without further ado, here is this week's question.
Real quick, Atran said, have you ever been to Vegas? I was supposed to go to Vegas in November to see St. John's. Unfortunately, that did not pan out.
Vegas is fun, but I'll tell you, Pittsburgh is a hell of a city, too. You have a lot of fun there. Do not miss out and go to Pittsburgh. All right, here are our questions. You want to read them?
Week 16 questions. Will Quinn Ewers have over or under 1.5 total touchdowns, rushing or passing? Again, will Quinn Ewers,
in his debut,
have over under 1.5 total touchdowns, which can either be rushing or passing? So that's a yes or no.
Right. So let's see how he's going to do that first debut. And the second question is?
Number 2, will Quinn Ewers have a turnover in his debut? An interception, which Tua does, or a fumble? Yes or no? So we're just looking for a yes, no, no, yes. Just straight up yes or no answers right here. So let's see what they have in the chat.
Yep. So you guys, you know the drill by now. Drop it in the chat
George
if you'd
said
like.
he loved the draft clock. No, it was so cool. Okay, so first one came in. Kirk says, Quinn Ewers will have over 1.5 total touchdowns. And he goes, yes, he will have a turnover.
Okay. Or, by the way, if you're not in the contest, if you're still not on that screen, you can still participate. We'd love to hear your opinion. You can also drop in if you think the Dolphins are going to win this week. We're about to give you our predictions. But anything else?
You're losing your voice. Cough it out.
I am.
Cough it out.
Good. Go.
No, now you're talking high voice. Cough it out.
Go ahead.
Talk it out. Talk it out.
Go.
Talk it out. Okay, so if you weren't here, Quinn, yes, and yes. MRRF says over and yes. Miami Mike over and yes. Dennis, our new friend, says over and yes. So we are pretty much close. And guys, one more thing. And Adrian, under yes. No, number 1 under. He will have under 1.5 yards, and yes, that he will have a turnover. And then wait, Tim, we have a new one here. Tim Han. I'll take the opposite of Kirk. He doesn't know anything. Oh, Tim.
Tim, look who's here. It's Pops. He says hi.
You're losing your voice so bad. All right, guys. All right, so before we shift gears, before we end the show, actually, give us your score prediction. Again, it is a 1 o'clock kickoff at Hard Rock Stadium. The Cincinnati Bengals come to town. It's supposed to be a night game that did get flexed out a few days ago, so we know that the game has now been pushed to 1 o'clock. Your matchup will be Joe Burrow against Quinn Ewers. The decision to start Quinn Ewers over Tua was announced just yesterday. So in the chat, go ahead and put what you think your score prediction will be for Sunday's matchup at the Hard Rock. It will not be cold. It'll be a nice sunny day. So curious to know what you guys think the final score will be. Go ahead and put it in the chat. First one, we have Russ. Russ said Bengals 23, Dolphins 17.
Russ never picks for the Dolphins. So, yeah.
Okay.
What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Quinn get a win. I'm Team Quinn here. I'm over Tua. So over Tua. I've been over Tua for a very, very long time. I'm going to go 24-10 Dolphins.
Okay. So here's where I see.
Can we get a fly, Eagles, fly?
Sure, fly, Eagles, fly. You can play the Commanders
Eagles
this week. You're going to be all right. You can do that without us. So
Free Willy. Okay. Then Miami Mike says Miami 13, Cincinnati 17. So he's going with the Bengals win. Dennis also thinks the Bengals are going to win 24-17 Bengals. Kirk says Tim is sitting here. Go Birds. Russ, Tim is one of our pals who tailgates with us every week. He's an Eagles fan but supports the Dolphins. Go Birds. So there's your Go Birds. Another prediction here. MRF 21-20 Phins. That'll be a close game. Dan Lou got some hauls.
I know. My voice is it's the cold. The cold got to me. What can I tell you?
Kirk 23-13 Dolphins. Love you guys. We love you. Atran with his guess 28-20 Bengals.
All right, and I'll give my prediction. Here's what I want to have happen. I want Quinn Ewers to do well, but I want the Dolphins to, not do so well. And I'll tell you why. Because, and I know a lot of you diehards out here will back me up on this, I do not want Mike McDaniel back as the coach. I'm sorry. I think a big part of the reason that we're in this predicament right now is because of him. Two dominoes have fallen so far. The first one was Greer. The second one would happen this past week in Tua. And the third one has got to be Mike McDaniel. I do not want him back as coach. I was sitting there, as I mentioned at the top of the show. We were all there in the upper deck. 9 minutes left to go in the game. We're down multiple scores, and he's walking up to the line of scrimmage. He's letting the play clock go down to 3, 2, 1 seconds. It's just unexcusable. He, in year 4, has not learned how to manage the game properly, when to call his timeouts. So I need McDaniel out of here. I don't want Ewers to come out guns a-blazing, and then he gets the credit for it. I don't want that. So I want Ewers to do just enough to get by, show some flashes to maybe see if he's the guy or not. But I don't want McDaniel to get credit. I don't want McDaniel back. So I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to say Dolphins are going to lose this one 24-20. But I think Ewers has a nice debut and gives us a little hope, which we could use right now.
Adrian says 2 down, 1 to go, Lou. Just hang in there.
That's
Preach
it.
it.
Exactly.
Agree. Your new GM. Well, that's Yavis. That's a spot. And then coach and quarterback. So it's a rebuild. It's a rebuild from the top, and then let it all.
That's it.
Down.
It's what you got to do.
I agree.
But all right, what do you say? We call it a show?
Let's call it a show.
Guys, have a great rest of your week. There's only one day left.
Happy Hanukkah for those who are
Happy
celebrating.
Hanukkah. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas upcoming. Enjoy your weekend games. A lot of great college football games on Sunday. And
You lost your voice, guys. With that,
Phins up.
take care. Feliz Navidad. This week, next week will be a Noche Buena for all my fellow Hispanics. So take care, guys. Fins up. Kwanzaa as well. Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas. We're celebrating it all. Adios. Ciao. Bye, guys.